I am 1 minute late. Um, what's happening, y'all? L.A.R. movement still moving. I was definitely tuned in to Dr. T. Johnson and Tommy Curry earlier today. It was a great, epic discussion. And I was tuned into Kendra yesterday, and I commented something that she said. And I'm kind of mixing these two things together because it's been on my mind since then about men and women, the differences. And that's why I say he's realistic and she's abstract, which means he's physical and she's metaphysical. Okay, it's not gonna be one of those situations where I'm trying to diss people or throw people under the bus and nothing like that. What's up, Third Ward? What's happening? So I'm getting into the topic like it is. Like what I mean is the stereotype of men being logical and women being emotional. So he's realistic, she's abstract. Nothing's wrong with being abstract, nothing is wrong with being realistic, but they're different. How you doing, Devin? You know. So now we in this situation where it's I'm just bringing some thoughts to the table. Edward, Tony was good. So ultimately in the beginning part is this. I'm talking creativity versus productivity. Not saying men can't be abstract and women can't be realistic once again, but in a mixture of both. I'm not saying that, but I'm using a stereotype. So when he's realistic, he's about productivity. Let me realistically, the protect the provider mantra that's put out, those guys have to be productive. They have to produce. You need a producer to be a protector and a provider. So men are wired in that sense to be wired and groomed to be a protector and a provider. Women are supposed to be groomed to be a nurturer. What's happening? Cheryl, American Brazilian, Emmanuel, Faith. I did not know that. I just got home from work, so my bad. So what winds up going on is we're in a situation where we're living in a society where creativity can produce something. But the thing about it is creativity can produce entertainment, but it isn't necessarily the main function. See, creativity can produce music, but what's more important, your music or your car? You need the car to drive, the plane that plays music or the music itself. The grocery store that you listen to the music in, that you can get food from, or the music itself. You know what I'm saying? Kizzy, what's going on? So when we talk about creativity, we don't take into consideration that you would say the women are more creative than the men. Okay. But the difference with the men and the women is when men are abstract thinkers, the idea is to abstract. When I think something abstract, now I have to bring it to existence. A building is an abstract thought. You just thought that's in your head. But now, if you want to make the building a reality, now you got to put all the pieces in place to make that building real. And this is why I say there's a difference between men and women. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, Careless, what's going on? Mr. Marcus, James, what's up? So now we're at that point where the rubber is meeting the road in society because creativity does not necessarily mean you're productive. So us men and women are getting into these conflicts because, he wants something produced, or he's looking for something to be done at the end of the day, and she's looking for something abstract that could possibly be done, possibly not be done. And it could be a feeling, it could be a thought. That's cool. Well, men aren't necessarily cool with a feeling or a thought if it doesn't have anything physical that you can actually see and make use of at the end of the day. George, what's going on? Young Jay, what's happening? Well, what's popping? Had a mask. So now we had this issue. And ladies, fellas looking at women one way, women looking at the fellas another way. How you doing, Titan? And it's one of those situations where what's going on? Well, what's going on is he's being realistic and she's being abstract. And even though they can both understand realistic thinking and abstract thinking, they're approaching each other from a realistic point of view and an abstract point of view. So guess what? Just because you talk in the same language don't mean you speak the same language. So, and what makes it worse is the hopping back and forth between both when it's convenient. And what I mean by that is what I'm about to talk about next, which is the gender roles. Indigenous, what's good, fam? What's good? You know, yeah, it can come off as a oil and water, exactly. You know, Anthony, how you doing? So when we're kids, we're taught gender roles. You know, we're taught, you know, boys do this, girls do that. Boys learn this way, girls learn that way. Boys are more hands-on, girls are more abstract. You know, this idea of, you know, boys do the 8 colors in the crayon box, girls do the 24 to 32 to 64 colors in the box. You know, we're two different things. You know, that's red. No, that is metallic or whatever you want to call it is red. That's blue. That's pink. No, that's mauve. That's pink. You see, like that is our difference. Big Poke Dog was popping. E Smooth was good. So now we're raised, you know, we have different roles. We're taught different things and to be different things because what works for us. And one thing about boys is we got to be realistic. And it starts at an early age. Boys, you know, you can't do that. You're not going to do that. You got to be a man. You see, we tell a girl she's a princess. We don't tell a boy he's a king. Because kingship has to be earned. You got to go get that. You're not just giving it by birth. So it's abstract to tell a little girl she's a princess because now in her mind, she's a princess. She's going to be a queen someday. With the boys, I'm not going to tell you you're a prince who finna be a king because guess what? You might have to go create your own kingdom. I am Alpha. What's good? Raymond, what's good? Tahaka, how you doing, fam? I'm glad you called me. You know, so now we're looking at we're raised from a young age to look at the gender roles from two different points of view anyways. So now here's the problem. What her worth is and what your worth is come with completely different stereotypes. Big B, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? When they say they're a queen. So now little girls look at themselves one way, they grow to be women looking at themselves one way. Little boys look at themselves one way, and they grow to be men and look at themselves one way. And society looks at us completely different. That's why when a man says something, it has to be factual. It has to be based in fact and reality. We're not going to take you seriously because what did you say? Okay, I understand how you feel, but what's real out of this situation? I get your feelings, but I need the reality of the situation because I can't help you fix your situation in feelings because you're not a girl. You're a boy who grows to be a man. Feelings ain't gonna help you. Now, with girls and women is different. You got to filter through the feelings. Feeling. And they can find an answer for their problem somewhere within their feelings. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a realistic answer, a realistic solution. You know? So now that's where we at. This is where we at with this. Because the gender roles, like I said, are different. So here's where when a guy says, look, man, I don't understand what the hell she's talking about. I don't get it. Hey, Mahogany. You know, they're like, I don't understand what she talk about. You know, The guys are like, the women are like, I don't understand what he's talking about, because y'all not talking on the same plane. And this is how you start learning this as you get older. That, say if I was a player, right? Would have normally work with women if you're a player is to approach them in the abstract, approach them with words, with feelings, with fantasy, not with reality. Because if I can sell you a dream, I can sell you a fantasy. You're willing to buy that. You can see me. Sometimes women pick men based on fantasy. In her mind, he represents this. That doesn't have to be who he actually is. So sometimes when gender roles, guys who understand women's abstract thinking better than others learn how to do abstract things. They learn how to. That's why they dress differently. That's why they, have different nuances and different social cues that guys don't get, because they're like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you in here in polka dot shirt and leopard print pants and some red jeans? You look ridiculous. Well, he's very abstract, isn't he? And all that colorful and brightness to a woman is, oh, he's confident. He's da 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 da. That's something. That's not guys. That's not what guys think. Guys think this dude is being outrageous. Realistically, who told this fool to come out the house looking this outrageous? But there's two different things. He's peacocking. They understand his peacock better than you do. You know what I'm saying? He looks zesty. Oh, man. So, flamboyant. Yeah, how you doing, Flybird? I said I caught you later because I was on my phone listening at work. So I tried to say what's up to you in the chat too, but it was probably too late. What's up, Casper? So getting to the next point of this is why I said that about the clothes thing. It's the miscommunication. See, we miscommunicate all the time, because you remember they had the YouTube video about the guy rules. When the woman called the guy on the phone in the cartoon, like, what do you want to eat? That whole thing about what do you want to eat, and you know what I want. JBA, man, thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. So when a brother, men don't like this conversation with women. What do you want to eat? Because I don't know, pick something. And then all of a sudden, okay, we're going to get some Chinese. I don't want that. Okay, Italian. I don't want that. Okay, wings. I don't want that. Okay, we're going to get Mediterranean. I don't want that. Vegan. I don't want that. Cuban. I don't want that. Okay, we're going to get a burger. I don't want that. So what do you want? I don't know. Just pick something. See, what that is that whole thing. The reality is like, yo, look, chick, I'm hungry. You hungry. Brother, what's happening? I'm hungry. You hungry. There's plenty of food, but now I got to sell you food. Do you have a taste for this? Do you have a taste in your mind? Can you smell the barbecue? Like, and then, oh yeah, I can smell it. I can see the sauce. It's dripping down the edge of the rib tips. Oh my God, I want that. It's a commercial because it's abstract. So then when we get to the conversations, what are we getting into conversations about? What happened? And, men are talking about what happened. Women are talking about what they thought happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you think, what did you say? I said this. Well, I thought you meant this. Wait a minute. That's not what I said, and that's not what I meant. So if I said this is what this means. It's not what you think what that means in your mind. So now, because that's two different conversations. I remember having a conversation, kind of arguing with my homegirl, and I told her one thing, and then she repeated what she felt like I was saying and answered that. And I was like, wait a minute, you didn't hear what I just said. You just took what I said, ignored it, made up your own definition of what I was saying, what I meant, where I was coming from, and you answered that. You did not answer anything I was talking about. You did not respond to anything that I said. And then in the middle of that conversation, you're like, yeah, that's what I did. And kept going. I'm like, I told you it's crazy because that's a different communication. You know, they need all the subtle nuances. You know, and that becomes the issue. Yeah, Amber, why are you laughing, Amber? You know, so now we're in this situation where guys are trying to learn your feelings, and it's difficult for men to learn your feelings because realistically, we don't know what you're feeling from moment to moment, so we don't know what you're thinking from moment to moment because your thoughts can change on a dime. You can be very fickle when you're an abstract thinker. You could be very, this color turns you off. The wind blew that way and it's different. Like, oh, it's cloudy outside, so the whole mood of the day changes. And guys are like, I'm not feeling that. You, yeah, tell them. I got you. Well, you know what, Faith? You remember last night when me and O'Shea was on, and you said the women want to be married, black women want to be married, and we was like, we didn't disagree, but we were saying they want to be married at an age when they want to be married, which is the miscommunication. Because if you're looking for marriage, if you're looking for it early, these things are on the table. But if you look for it late, so these other things are on the table. It's different. So that's what I mean by the abstract part, because that whole thing we were talking about last night was women have the idea that, what, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get an education, I'm going to follow my career with a certain amount of years, and then the men are going to be there. That whole conversation is an ideology that had nothing to do with the men's response was. Men are not saying we're going to be there after you go to school, get an education, have a career, and then wake up maybe in your late 20s or early 30s or mid 30s and say, I want a man now, so let's get married. Men don't operate like that. We're looking at it from a realistic point is you're too old, not for marriage, but you're too old because of the way you set the situation up to understand how to actually get along with a man. Because when you were in school, your focus wasn't getting along with a man. When you got to your career, your focus wasn't getting along with a man. When you got to the point that you felt like you conquered your career, you hadn't been focused on getting along with a man. And now that you did all of that, and now it's time to settle down, get married, and have kids, here's the big issue. Now you don't know how to get along with a man. This is what I mean by the miscommunication part. Cash money. So now, let them create. What's up, Truck Turner? What's popping? Money, cash money. I like to say cash money. So now this miscommunication is the issue, because now, guys are looking at it even in a dating sense differently, because when women hit a certain age, it's like, you had a conversation, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. And the guys are looking like, realistically, I don't care what you want, because I don't know if you're willing to be what you asked for. Too old and more. You grown man, you have to change for that. So now it's a miscommunication. Just like on the flip side, like I'm more of a straight shooter. I can be so much of a straight shooter, it turns girls off because I'm not abstract all the time. I can be very creative and abstract, but do I want to do it? No, because it's not practical, it's not pragmatic, and to me, it doesn't really get much done. So she wants excitement. I'm like, listen, you going to the movies? Okay. You want excitement? You want to go do some laser tag? You want to go skating? You want to go to bowling alley? Let's go. Let's just get up and go. I'm not about to sell you the fantasy of what we're going to do and make it sound all cute before we get there. And, I've had numerous girlfriends. It's just not fun. It is fun because when we do what we do, it's a great time. But I'm so realistic. Like, if you bored, let's go do something. We're gonna break the monotony. But I'm not finna entertain you on the way to breaking the monotony. You get what I'm saying? Babe, stop hating. Stop hating. So it's too much. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because of the relationship part. It's hard to be in a relationship like, like as y'all can see, this is my little office, right? You can see what color the walls is. You don't see a bunch of pictures up. Why is that? Because they would say he's a guy, he's not as creative. He don't want all these. I'm like, look, I don't need purple walls, Wakanda designs. I don't give a damn about none of that. I'm here. This is my hobby. This is one of the things I do. I'm here online. We're gonna talk. We're gonna chop it up. But when I have women in my house, of course, they want to, oh man, we could paint this wall this, and we could do that, and we could set up this thing, and we could set up that, and this color will give the room a great feeling, and it'll feel warm, and it'll feel cozy. And me as a guy, I'm like, okay, if I mess around and get a long-term girlfriend or wife or something like that, I already know a lot of the shit in my house is gonna be a different color. I got a pool table in the first, and right when you walk in my house, and two couches. You know what I'm saying? Big old TV in the other room, two couches, kitchen area, table, we good. Bedroom over there, office over here, bedroom over there. All the colors and paintings. I got paintings. I actually got paintings and pictures that are still in all these closets that I never put up because I'm like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? So, but ladies, it's different. So, you see what kind of desires. So now what winds up happening is when you're in relationships with people, it's those are the opposites that are supposed to attract. He's realistic, she's abstract. Y'all kind of blend that together so y'all can actually work together. Because if you too realistic, it could be a downer for people. If you too abstract, people gonna look at you like you're a nutcase. So you come together and you kind of meet in the middle, right? But I think what's happening is the extremes are so far out that now it's like lines are drawn in the sand. What's up, Miss Jazzy? Hold up. What did he say? Nope. Nope. None of them, Third Ward. None of them. Start with a K. You know the rest. We're gonna leave it at that. Right? So now we're at that point where the relationships have an issue with men and women because everything from a male perspective, women, I'm a queen, I'm a god, I'm this, I'm abstract. When I do this, it means something. I did like this and I shook my head and they knew what was up. Me as a guy, I'm like, if you really think that means something, you're out of your damn mind. You're a queen because I walked in the room and it changed the energy, and I'm looking like you just walked in the room. Like, okay, you're confident, you're feeling yourself, but please don't think like the whole world's gonna change because you just walked into a room. Like it's just stupid to me, you know. Idris, what's happening? You know, so Cantrell, shut the hell up. But what's up, Big Poke Dog? So now, and if a guy, the guy's like, I'm a man's man. You know what I'm saying? I got Valvoline and Mobil 1 motor oil under my fingernails. I got calluses. I'm saying I'm out here doing this work. Look here, girl. I got a Newport in my mouth at the gas station, leaking gas all over the place, and I'm lighting my cigarette. I don't care. I'm a man's man. So and that's unrealistic because good and hell well you be dead. You be dead. You sitting there eating chicken wings and Valvoline. I'm a man. I got this. I'm so realistic, and I'm gonna be so real that I'm gonna be ignorant and stupid and die early. This is the part. Now, the reason I get into that part is you're wrong for that, fam. It gets into parenting. And I'm gonna start getting a little bit more serious from this point on, just so y'all know. Dad's role is this. Dad's role is to get you rooted in reality. Mom's role is to be more abstract. I want to make you, I'm smart, I'm powerful, I can do anything. Not a kid running around, I'm smart, I'm powerful, I can do anything. And dad like, listen, what you gonna do though? I don't know. But when you figure out what you gonna do, we're gonna have a conversation because we're gonna set out a plan on how to actually do it. Because you're not finna walk around in life talking about I'm smart, I'm powerful, I can do anything, and you wind up never doing nothing. So we're gonna give you a plan and a direction to do this. Nothing wrong with that. Mom made you feel good about yourself. Mom make you feel powerful. You know what I'm saying? Mom is supposed to, relate to the kids. And that's why you hear the women huddle up. I got this kid. I love it. I love it. I love it. These kids gravitate to mom. They sure do. They sure do. But as they get older, what winds up happening with this parenting situation? When people talk about these kids don't have it together because what? Fathers are not in the home. So guess what? Dad wasn't there to give him or dad isn't there or wasn't there, or you're fighting dad to give that child a dose of reality to be realistic. To say, hey, this is going to take some effort. This is going to take some hard work. You're going to have to do this, that, and the third. This is the way you're going to go. Ray, what are you talking about? But this is why the situation with parenting comes up into play, because some of us have been parented to be abstract, even as men. See, when we talk about our community as Black people, we don't think about it like this. They say it's a matriarchy. And I was listening to the Real Dana. She had Judge Joe Brown on earlier today. And he said, it's a matriarchy too. The one thing we don't talk about is, you said the boys are feminized, it is that and the third. And they're trying to reverse the gender roles. What happens is, because of parenting, we say the Black men don't build. Well, here's the thing. Black men are raised to be abstract thinkers. We're not raised to be realistic. We're raised to be abstract. This is what I think in my mind, and I can manifest this in my mind. I can think this out. I can think what out? See, other groups, when they're quote unquote when they're patriarchal, you have a blueprint to do something. This is why they talk about STEM and all that, because STEM gives other people a blueprint to do something. That's the thing. Hold up. It gives you a benefit to say, okay, what winds up happening is STEM helps you produce. Science, you can produce something with. Technology, you can produce something with. Engineering, you can produce something with. Mathematics, you can produce something with. Abstract thinking is artistic and creative. So when we say, guys don't understand business, I very much so understand that, because that's something that's, rooted in some ways STEM, because it comes down to profit margins, numbers. Sometimes you got to cut some things short. Sometimes you got to manage some things out. It ain't, but we look at it from a people aspect. How can I interact with the people? Well, the people want the product, supply and demand. So you need to have a supply first. You get what I'm saying? So we don't produce as much. So now we have this issue. What are y'all doing? So now we had an issue because, and then we're telling, and they say we're raising the women to be men and not depend on men. Faith of enjoying a healthy sex life, huh? Oh, okay, now I see what's going on. And now they want the women to like, quote unquote, like be in management, and to a degree. Why? Because they can tell people what to do, but they don't necessarily want to do it, because that's just not female's nature. She's still more abstract. Even though these women feel like they can go out and conquer the world and feminism and all that and equality, I don't have a problem with equality. If you want a meritocracy, I understand that, but a meritocracy requires work. So you won't just be able to say you doing big things because you got on the telephone and you're going to still have to put up some numbers. And that's where, women kind of mentally break down, because they don't, whether they like it or not, abstract thinkers. I think this, I think that. And it's like, okay, that's what you think. That's cool. But is it really like that, though? And then you see, because I see a lot of women in corporate America who can't handle it. They can't handle it. They can handle the people aspect and telling people what to do as far as managing, but they can't handle the numbers aspect of actually you got to produce week in and week out. And that is not what our society used to be. We used to have a society of actually creative people who actually invented things in STEM. So that's one of the things. What's up, Super High, man? My bad. So now this is one of the issues. Now, to take it a little bit further, propaganda. See, as you see with Rick James, he's dead, but all of a sudden propaganda. Kobe, propaganda. When it comes to men, and when I listen to the sisters online, they talk about, and even sisters in real life, they talk about the media's influence. The media influences us. The reason why people's acting like this is because it's the media. And we all understand as men that, life can imitate art and art can imitate life. But for the vast majority of things you see on television, it's made up. It's make-believe. So we don't look at the media as all completely real. Sometimes we see that it imitates life, and sometimes we see it's just make-believe. And when it comes to the ladies, it seems like art imitates life and life imitates art, and both of them are real. And men are like, nah, both of them not real. And why I brought up the propaganda part is because, as Tommy Kerr was talking about, sometimes when ladies have these ideologies, you don't need any proof. When you think abstract, you don't actually need facts. You don't actually need proof. It's just a thought in your head. It's just like racism, and what I mean by that is men are this, men are that, men are this, men are that. But when we get down to the raw facts and the raw numbers, then it's the opposite of what people say men are. But guess what? I feel like men are this, so therefore they have to be that, because I think that they are, so therefore they am. I think, so I am. So, and it's also I think, so they are too. So the guys are looking at the propaganda like, look, realistically, I know these type of people exist, but this is not the majority. The numbers bear that out. And then the ladies are like, well, just because the numbers say certain things doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I'm like, yeah, you're right. It does exist, but it doesn't. But if this exists at a 20% rate, you're talking about it as it exists at 80%. Well, here are the numbers right here that say it's 20, but those numbers don't matter because I feel like, everything is not true. Okay, fine. Everything isn't true. James, what's happening? Yeah, exactly, right. Let me. What have you done? Hold up. Faith over here getting into it, looking flirting with people and whatnot. I know you're over there flirting, Faith. Now the propaganda of what men are and what men can be, this becomes an issue. Because now when you deal with men, going back to the communication part, you're not actually dealing with men. You're dealing with your abstract thoughts of what you think men are, which what I meant like racism. Because when as a black man, when we deal with racism, I can't control your thoughts. That's your imagination. If you get scared because you see me walking down a cookie aisle, that's your problem. That's not my problem. If you freak out, that's your problem, not my problem. If you grab your gun or you ready to fight because in your mind you thought up, he's black. Oh, I know he gonna turn on some Snoop Dogg music. He gonna slap me because he think he Suge Knight. I gotta get him first. That I can't. That's you. You know what I'm saying? And then and so many times people have gotten to that situation where, well, I thought he was gonna do this and I thought he was gonna do that, and it's like, what? What are you talking about? This is part of the reason why the police have body cams now, because their whole imagination. I saw boys in the hood yesterday, he gonna kill me. Like that's the propaganda is used as an excuse to do something negative. But realistically, you're not living in reality when things happen. You know what I'm saying? So now this idea that the media did this and the media did that, the media didn't make you make the choices you made in real life. You made those choices. You can't tell me you made a good choice or a bad choice in life because you saw it on CBS. It was on Netflix. It was on a show on ABC. HBO showed you how to make a good decision or a bad decision. You dated that man because you saw it in a Tyler Perry movie, or Tony, I forgot the lady, Toni Morrison, something, or Ava DuVernay. Like, that's why I made the choices I made. That's gonna sound ridiculous, and most men are looking at it like, this is part of the propaganda. You men like white girls, so I'm gonna get blonde hair because you like white girls, because I saw on TV that they said you like white girls. So my blonde hair is to get white, to be more white for you, so you can like me. Guys are looking at it like, did I ever tell you I like white girls? No, but I saw it on BET. Huh? It was on MTV, huh? It was on a rap video. Nick, who? You realize I don't even like that artist? But you're black and he's black, and she was on a video and she was dancing, and that means you and it's like, no, it doesn't. Telemanipulation. Yeah. So this becomes an issue because so much propaganda propagates too much propaganda for the proper goose. I remember Bobby Glanton, so because of this type of stuff, we're creating a whole dysfunctional way to communicate and interact with each other, which brings me to the next point: racial division. See, men, because of if when the men are realistic and the women are abstract, and you can't empathize, or you can't put yourself in the other person's shoes, because you can't say, okay, let me think a little abstract and see what you're trying to say, or let me think a little bit more realistic and let me see what you're trying to say. If you can't do that, there's going to be a divide, because now you're going to say, this person doesn't understand where I'm coming from, so we don't have the same agenda, even though we're the same people. So divide and conquer, right? So now it's divide and conquer. Uh-oh. Hold up, fam. Right. Say something enough and people start to believe it. So now it's divide and conquer, because what you see with us is this political game. Contributed to this. You know what, Faith? This is what I mean by abstract thinking and a reality. When we say, when we as a community say black men claim white media uplifting Euro standard of beauty contributed to them finding white women attractive. Normally, who says that is black women and gay men and white men, not black heterosexual men. And this is what I mean by the propaganda part, where if Irvin Johnson's son says that's what black men want, black women will take it as, see, a black man said it, but it's like, you realize that man don't like women, right? If a white guy says it, you realize he has an agenda, right? If a black woman says it, you realize it's coming from that point. Like, when we think about propaganda in the media, a lot of these talk shows from years ago, even to now, there are whole panels of women. And now there are whole panels of women, gay men, and transsexuals who telling you what black men think. Ironically, no black men are there, but everybody in the building knows what black men are thinking, because you don't have to prove it when you think in an abstract manner. It's just, this is what I think, this is what I feel, and it's got to be true. So it's got to be true, and it's like, it's not true, but you're not listening to the other side, because realistically, if black men, Black men, let me be realistic and say this. Black men who date non-black women usually date non-black women who have black women's bodies. They don't date the European standard of beauty, which is considered just a cardboard, kind of slim lady. They don't have, because we don't think about Euro standard of beauty as even being slim thick. You know what I'm saying? And we don't date some black women who have that European standard of beauty when their body comes into play. So now it becomes the issue of yes it is, yes it's not really. He said, and that's what I'm talking about. Because to a degree that is it, opinion. Because when you think in abstract, it does become the law. Because think about it, like a lot of the music we listen to, music affects culture, and a lot of music is abstract for the most part. Well, it's creativity, it's art, so it's abstract. But getting back to the division part and using part of what you were saying a little bit, Faith, is when the men and women look at themselves, we don't look at black people as a unit anymore. We look at black men as one section and black women as another section. So now, from a male point of view, it's like, okay, the women will say, we're oppressed. Okay, is this a metaphysical oppression, or because of men are oppressive? Black men have been oppressive. You're trying to enslave us. Has black men historically enslaved black women? No, but it doesn't matter. If I cook a meal for you or I be your woman, that's like slavery. Okay, so if black men start using that very same logic and turn around, let me tell you, baby, I cannot. Here's what I can't do. I can't take you out on a date and pay for anything because I don't want you to think this could be a relationship because it could subject you to slavery. I don't want to be your man and be your protector and provider, because if I'm your protector and your provider, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have to protect and provide for you, and you're going to have to do some things for me, and it'll make you a slave. So I'm just not going to do it because I'm trying to protect you from protection and provision. It sounds weird. So Smooth was popping. So now we in this situation where the men say, look, man, we're being treated unfairly. And the women say, well, I'm a double minority. How you a double minority? Because I'm black and because I'm a woman. But factually, you're a minority because you're black. But if you're a woman, you're a majority population. So for us, it's like, realistically, that doesn't sound right. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing about it is, we get to a point where it becomes too much of a battle. Yeah, and I get you what you're saying, JT. Because I'm gonna get into that part too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start getting into these other parts. Can I do it now? Yeah, pretty much. I could. The other part about this is reality bites. And this is why in the end men feel like we have the upper hand over women, because we don't, the metaphysical and the abstract world isn't the world that we live in. So what's going to wind up happening is reality is going to bite you in the ass at some point. And we say the same thing with men. When men want to be extra metaphysical and extra abstract, and they just want to do whatever and fly by the seat of their pants, the bill is going to come due. You better be able to afford being abstract. It's not, being abstract can't be for free. What you got, girl? What you got, woman? We're living in a white man's. Yeah, but everybody, you're not the only, so a Hispanic woman is a double minority because she's a woman and she's Hispanic. An Asian woman is a double minority because she's a woman and Hispanic. Unfortunately, Guess who's also a minority? A double minority is a woman when she's white, right? Because she's not necessarily the majority population as a white woman. This is why I say that abstract thinking goes bad, because guess what winds up happening? She won't ever say I'm a double minority, but she's in the same affirmative action umbrella as black women. How is that possible? Because of abstract thinking. That's the issue. That's why I'm saying reality bites, because at some point people start thinking about the reality of it, like, wait a minute. If this is how this is working, then this is a hustle. And guys look at it like, yeah, it's definitely a hustle. Because if you think for 1 minute that you're a double minority, you tripping. Duane, what's popping? No, triple minority. Black man are double minority because he's black and he's black. But by the logic, yeah, but it makes no sense if a man says it. But that's the point. That's the point. This is what I'm talking about, Faith. Like, this is the point. How are white women a double minority? They are a single minority because they are part of the dominant society. Here's how they're a double minority. Because if you look at affirmative action, who benefits the most from being a minority? White women benefit the most from affirmative action, and they're part of the doggone majority because they play the double minority card while they're in the white man's patriarchy, telling you to fight, that your men need to fight against the white man's patriarchy. This is what, like, I will say this, and here's the thing that I will say about black women and women in general that men don't get. White men are abstract thinkers too. And black women understand white people better than we do because they think more abstract than we do. And what I mean by that is white people have an ideology. All of this goes by an ideology if something's going to happen to them. They're doing this because something's going to happen to them. They're acting a certain way because if you were in that position, you would do the same thing as me. That's, in my opinion, mental illness and a mental issue, but it is abstract thinking because there is not factually based. I kill people because they would kill me if they saw me. Huh? I stole this land because if them people would have showed up on my land, they would have stole mine. Huh? I made the system like this so I could benefit because if they made the system, they would do the same thing to me. Huh? You're assuming everybody is you. So you're really not responding to the world around you. You're responding to yourself and you're taking it out on the world. And then this is why people say white guilt, because at some point the guilt is somebody, they're going to get me. They're going to get me because now I know what I'm doing and I know I'm dead wrong, but I'm just continuing to do it. So here's the issue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, white women, it's just a hustle. It was just a hustle, which is a problem. And Faith, you could come on here if you want to, Sugar, because I'm almost done. So you can let me know. I ain't got shit to do. I'm off. I took the next few days off. I'm hurt. My leg is messed up. So when I get to the reality part, what I'm saying is the reality of these situations bite, because when guys talk about hit the wall, and like you heard me last night, some guys' life hit the wall. But when guys talk about women hit the wall, partially what they're talking about is she was so abstract in her thinking that she thought she had forever. Guys are more realistic. Like, you don't have forever. Everything has a time limit. Life has a time limit. You're not just going to be able to cut life on and off at your discretion. What's going to wind up happening is you got all the time in the world until you don't, as Donovan Sharp would say, right? So, when he's realistic about that, you don't know what you're talking about. And women have good reason to say men don't know what they're talking about because we're socialized different. And what I mean next is, this is our experience. Men and women's experience in society is completely different. So, women can go out without a dollar in their pocket, assuming some man is going to come along and look out for them. That's not our experience. Men, we can't do that. Because he wants me to get with me. He have to treat me. I'm gonna go here so he can treat me. I don't know who this guy is. He's a stranger. I'm walking on faith, not by sight. But this dress I got on say I'm looking fine as a mug, so I know I'm gonna get something. That was the whole club scene. The women getting free, the guys pay. And then what wound up happening, what? The reality started kicking in. These guys was like, wait a minute, I'm paying, she getting it free, I'm buying her drinks. I'm not leaving with nobody. It is what it is. No, Faith, I'm not about to eat you alive, woman. I'm not. No. You just want me to, you know what? We're not even going to get in there because you've been talking about sex all in the chat. As you can see by the way I'm acting, I'm chilling. I am definitely chilling. Which is where the white women at. Here you go. Darth, don't you start. Real Dana, you got to subscribe. Oh, yeah, subscribe to Dana and Faith. And it's a lot of people in here. Kendra's in here, cool. Y'all know, subscribe to my guy O'Shea. You know what I'm saying? BGS, Tia Son Johnson do that. Y'all brothers showed out for Tia Son Johnson. That was so, man, I salute all y'all for that. Just get on everybody's page. But what I meant by going by our experiences, we're different. We're definitely different. Because what winds up happening is women don't, a lot of ladies nowadays experience is to be catered to. And guys are like, yeah, I can cater to you, but I can't cater to your ideology. I can't cater to your mindset. I can cater to you, the person. And part of this abstract thinking is also work, which I got to get into right now, of how the world works. Because men and women, even though we're talking about equality and equity and or an equitable life or meritocracy in a sense, men and women are viewing work different because he's doing it from a realistic standpoint. He's doing it from a physical standpoint. She's doing it from a metaphysical standpoint. And what I mean by that is, when ladies say, Captain Simp is on the right. When ladies, when men say, I worked hard, that can be physical labor. When women say I worked hard, they normally say I worked mentally hard. And men are looking at them like, you mentally worked hard. Oh my God. You're drained from thinking. You've been thinking since you was a child. How the hell did you get tired from thinking? That's what guys are thinking. Now, I understand there are guys who are geniuses who think all the time. We don't think of men as, oh man, this genius level mathematician just, he was working on an unsolvable math problem for 5 hours and he just passed out. I'm trying to figure out that pi squared divided by infinity. I don't get it. I'm so tired. Like, we don't look like shit like that. Like, it don't make no sense. It just don't. And sisters, when y'all get in relationships with us men, I work so hard. I do everything. And guys are looking at you like, what is that? I walked, I got up, I spoke life, I supported, I was there. And guys are like, I did all that shit for you. And I actually worked and paid all these damn bills and took your ass out and dealt with all of your emotions and had to talk you off a cliff and had to satisfy you, and in all these multiple ways. Shit had to be done at the end of the day. Work is not what you thought in your mind that you did something, and that means you did something. That shit is retarded. And ladies get an issue with that because it's abstract. And men looking at shit like, okay, look, man, we're not abstract people. Like, we need facts. And I'm gonna tell you why a lot of times men get mad is because, women know how to be very realistic when they want something. You know, and this is the play on how, you know, when women can tell you what they're not getting realistically, just like that. When if they're not getting their way what they want, just like that. Men, to get stuff out to and this is how you get things out of men. Men have to be very abstract and very fantasy oriented to get stuff out of you. I gotta cater and placate to your fantasy to make you feel like you're empowered. You know, I empowered her by telling her she was great. Like, how do we get a woman who's you know, who feels low about herself? We tell her, you're beautiful, you're special, you're the greatest thing ever. Any man would be worthy to have you. You know, I see you, you're perfect in my eyes. You're the greatest, baby. I mean, your farts smell like Chanel No. 5. Oh, you're the greatest thing ever. You I've never seen anybody more beautiful than you. And then she's, oh, somebody loves me. He understands. I just want to give him some. And then you're like, whatever. Why you ain't call me back? Because you crazy. I gotta tell you a whole goddamn Smurf story just to interact with you. I just wanted to be real with you. I can't be real with you. James, what's happening? You know, that's what happened. Right. I have to give a magic carpet just to get a sandwich. This becomes the issue. But this is the metaphysical thing. Now, you know, this is the metaphysical thing, because us as men, we don't understand it sometimes. We don't. Because like I got female friends who they dress up and they'll dance, you know, they'll do pole dance and they'll do Zumba, they'll do a bunch of things, and it's like it makes me feel free sexually. And I be doing this crazy neck shit because they be doing this crazy neck shit, and it makes me like, what does this mean, dog? Like, you know, what is this? Is this more powerful? It reminds me like the R&B videos when the dudes go, as if the note is going to get a whole lot better because you just bobbing your head like this. I never understood that. I make fun of it though, but you know. Stop. But this becomes a problem. So now it's all this metaphysical stuff. You know, she's powerful. She's and I'm gonna tell you the true story, right? This is what I mean. Me and I know she was mad at me for this. I had to do some landscaping in my yard, and a female friend of mine, she was staying with me for a while. She was like, I knew I had to do it. I'm looking at it. I never said nothing about it. And then one day, I was off. I decided, let me, you know, prune these trees, cut these limbs, you know, mulch, fix all the shrubs and everything. And she came back to my house, and she was like, my sister said that you need to do something with the law to fix the yard because you need to do all these things. And look how it just, like, she manifested this. And I looked at her and I was like, no, she didn't manifest nothing. Like, I had to pay for all this shit, all this mulch and shit, and go pick it up and put it in the car and bring it to the yard. And I had to use the trimmer to trim all these hedges. And I'm the one who had to use the shears to get these limbs down. I'm the one who had to pack this shit up so it could be thrown away. What are you talking about, manifest? And she just looked at me like, oh. I'm like, no. Y'all, you act like you and your sister did something because she said something to you. Your ass wasn't out here for 2 hours. I don't want to hear that stupid shit. Cool, it was happening. You know, my bad. That'll wash you off the chain, you know. And this is the issue, because when we enter this metaphysical stuff, and let me go back to the oppression part, right? Men don't, women feel like men are oppressive. And it's like, how are you oppressed and empowered? How? These men are oppressive, but you're empowered. These men are oppressive, but men will give you the money to empower yourself. These men are oppressive, but men will take their money to support you and your businesses to make sure that you are empowered. You know what I'm saying? Faith, stop it, girl. I don't know what the hell going on. Faith, you need a hug. Come here. Rick James, you need to Rick James. You need to come here. you know, you know, did I tell you have to change for that? But this becomes the issue, right? Because what winds up happening is when we talk about manifestation and speaking it into existence, we don't speak things into existence. Ty City, my bad, fam. What's happening? But that's the thing. Manifesting is just not, it's just manifesting. And I got to talk about that part because it's so abstract. Like these stories that you hear about men being this and men being that. And this is why some guys don't like quote unquote Me Too movement, because all of these stories aren't factual. They're an amalgamation of what people could believe. They're like the devil telling half truths. And this is the problem with abstract thinking. You can tell the truth when you're an abstract thinker and you're in the metaphysical, but you're only telling half the truth. You get what I'm saying? You're only going to tell people, like men, when men are metaphysical, we disrespect them. A metaphysical man gets disrespected. Brother, I manifested it with my mind. So what did you do? How did you, after you thought it up, after you thought this in your mind, how did you bring it to the real realm? How did you make it physical? Brother, I just thought and manifested and it came to me. It's the law of attraction. Man, so you really didn't do a damn thing, is what you're saying. You just got lucky, is what you're saying. You hit a lotto ticket on luck because you thought it up. Because yes, brother, no, it's not a lotto ticket of luck, brother. I manifested it, brother. I thought it. Well, how come? I've been knowing you for 20 years, and this is the only time something you thought manifested. So, seemed like you've been losing for 19 years, 364 days, because this is the 65th one it worked. But you ain't manifest a damn thing. But it is what it is. Cognitive dissonance, yeah. Is it maturity? So for me, this becomes a problem because ultimately, you can't necessarily talk to an abstract thinking, and I will, and I would say, when the guys are realistic, when we're realistic with men, it hurts men's feelings, and I know women feel the same way, right? And that's the one thing about when I was talking about oppression, verbal abuse, emotional abuse. So most guys are like, there's no such thing as verbal abuse and emotional abuse. I'm sorry. Like, you said something to me that hurt my feelings. I hurt your feelings. Okay. I hurt your feelings one day or 5 minutes ago. I didn't abuse you. You emotionally abused me. What emotion? I don't even know what emotion you went through. But you made me mad. I made you mad. You made me sad. I made you sad. Okay. You've made me mad on occasions. You made me sad on occasions. But you telling me you walking around with this for days, for weeks, for months on end? What's the abuse? You made me feel ugly. You made me feel fat. No, the scale told you how much you weigh. Your outfit, the jeans that you can't wear no more, that's why you feel fat. Them 3 ice cream bars you ate, when you ask me, do I look fat in this? If I say yes, I abuse you verbally or emotionally. What the fuck you want me to say? No? You want me to say no? And then you got a big old ring around your stomach or your waist because your pants so tight. It got an indentation in you. Like, I don't understand. You know, Coco, what's up? What's going on? Oh, you gonna be making them shirts soon? Cool. Let me see. Because these men play too many. But that's the thing. I can agree with you that men play too many games. But and I'm not gonna. The men that when men play games, they gotta lie to you. Can a man be honest with you? Can you have see? It's abusive if a man is verbally abusive if and emotionally abusive if a man is honest with you. So of course, if a guy is going to be if he's abstract and metaphysical, and you like that, you like lies. A lie feels so beautiful and pretty. A lie just has a bow wrapped on it. A lie is lovely. But if I tell you the truth, you're gonna blow your brains out. And I could be telling if it's complimentary, you love it. If it's not complimentary, it's abusive. So guy gotta play these games with you. Look, man, you want to know one of the reasons why I'm single is because I'm very honest. I'm honest to a fault. Like girls to ask me what my sign is and tell them my sign is Sagittarius. They're like, that's why you act like that. Like, listen, you know, if I'm honest with you, you gonna cry. Look, baby, let me explain something to you. You need to stop acting like an asshole in public. Excuse me, you act like an asshole. Yeah. You know, am I beautiful? You're good looking. I'm like a 10. No, you're not. I'm not gonna tell myself I'm a 10. I'm not gonna tell you a 10 because when you walk right up next to a 10, you're gonna feel some type of way. Because we're gonna know she a 10, and you gonna be like, I'm just as pretty as she is. That's like me walking up to a billionaire. I got just as much money as Bill Gates. Nigga, no. You know, this is where we at with this shit. You know, and I'm mad, and I'm not really mad. Isn't that confidence? Yeah, live in your truth. We can't tell y'all the truth to tell y'all to live in it. We try to tell y'all the truth so y'all live in it. Especially our sisters. Take that shit out your head. You look crazy. Y'all, you don't know what you're talking about. I do know what I'm talking about. You look crazy. You know what? You know one of the reasons why we tell y'all, I'm going to break this all the way down why men say these things, why we tell y'all to take that stuff out y'all head. Because when we was little boys, we used to be in church and girls, women, people, grandmama used to have the big ass church hats. Why did they have them church hats? Because they was bald headed. Because they permed and conked all of their hair out and shit. Then the weaves came and the braids came, and what happened? Them girls, this is a protective style in there. How they girl? Alopecia, bald headed than the motherfucker. To the point you got to put glue in your head now. I tried to tell y'all. You ain't gotta, you don't have to act all what you think is masculine. Yes, I do. I gotta talk like this. I gotta talk at men because this is what masculine is. No, it's not. When men talk to men like the way y'all women think, when y'all talking to men, it's masculine and men ain't gonna do nothing unless you screaming and holler. You notice men don't talk to men like that because men will knock a guy the fuck out. That's annoying. That's us being honest. That's just, you got the people president. Yeah. No. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I have a coworker and she went natural and then she got it out and it was like, and I told her, I said, you probably feel like you ain't getting no compliments because you got when you had your hair natural, now you getting compliments. And she was like, yeah, that's a problem. But the thing about it is she was married. She is married. So a lot of times y'all think, I'm gonna tell y'all what this is. Let me ask you something. Ladies in the chat, do you want to know the truth? Like, press 1 if y'all want to know the truth. about, how we look at y'all appearance. Because if you do, I'm gonna need you to buckle up. That's what I'm talking about right here. Tell them super high. Because I can tell you. Oh shit. Beth said 30. Okay. The more unnatural you look, the more we assume you're insecure. So the easier it is to get you in bed if we just want to have sex with you. The more natural you look, we realize you have self-love. So we're not really we can't come at you with those same shenanigans in that way. And sometimes when women are natural, that those women get played because they're so metaphysical that what winds up happening is we figure out that they lying to themselves by being ultra metaphysical. So she can only understand lies too. So this is what winds up happening is, yeah, right. We playing on, guys like that play on the insecurities. Because what we're doing is, no matter how you slice it, you insecure about your hair. You insecure about your face. You insecure about your eyebrows. You insecure about your eyelashes. You insecure about your body. But everything it is trying to draw attention to yourself, except your self-love and femininity. Because what winds up happening is we can tell the difference between a woman who loves herself and a woman who loathes herself. And a lot of times women who love themselves don't get approached because they're not easy to screw. If you're just out there looking for sex. When men say it's time to settle down, he's looking for a woman who loves herself. And it's difficult to find a woman who loves herself because she's so ultra made up. Because all of these things make her feel beautiful and make her feel like a woman and make her feel like a lady. And it's like, you got to, before you do that, you need to strip all that shit down and feel like a woman and feel like a lady and feel beautiful before you put that on, because we can tell the difference. I can tell the difference if you feel beautiful inside and out, from the inside out, and then you put on clothes, makeup, weave, or whatever. I can tell the difference. Most men can tell the difference. And we can tell the difference if you insecure and you put all that stuff on to cover up your insecurities, and then you feel pretty. So when we try to tell y'all this stuff, y'all don't believe it, because in y'all mind we lying. And when guys are trying to tell you, yo, that's not what's up. If you looking to be a quick lay, that's what you need to do. If you're looking to be in a serious relationship, you got to advertise yourself differently. And people are thinking, well, no, that's not true, because all these women can get sex. Women can get dick anytime. That's true. When we're attracted to women, yeah, but we're attracted to all women who are beautiful sexually. But the other thing about that is, hold up. The other thing, and we don't have a problem with y'all wearing makeup and all that other stuff, but we have a problem with, it's kind of like, when they say man make the clothes, man makes the money, money never made the man. So that's the flip side, ladies. Like when you see a man who he's a man with or without his money, and you can see it, like money didn't make him, he made money. But when you see a man who money made that man, money made him act like that, money made him confident, money made him talk like that, money made him feel this way about himself. Now, but if he loses the money, he's not that no more. You know what I'm saying? We it's the same thing. Yeah, it ain't about it being overdone. It's about it being internal. It's an internal thing. Because it's the same thing. Like one of my cousins, I remember no, they cast wow. I remember one of my younger cousins, we were sitting, me, him, and his brother, we were chilling together, and he said, "Man, he said, I can't go to the club with y'all because y'all in shape and I'm not. And I like to, y'all got arms and a chest when y'all in y'all polo shirt. I ain't got one, so I feel like insecure hanging around y'all." And we like, "What you talking about, bro?" Because he understand he's a very creative guy, so he's more of an abstract thinking than we are. So we looking at it like, uh do some push-ups before we go to the club or something. I don't know, bro. Like, don't wear a polo shirt. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, you going or you not. It's that thing. Third ward. Okay, hold up. Let me. I just saw that, fam. Let me scoot it back up. Okay. I think this is the one you talking about. Yeah. I think and I know a lot of women who say, "I do this for me," and they put on the makeup and a weave and the crazy clothes for themselves. And I do this for me. This is how I feel pretty. And when y'all say that to us, it's like, yo, you should need all that to feel pretty. Don't say black don't crack and then you putting cracks in it. It just don't make no sense. But damn, I've been on here hour 16 minutes. Let me get out of here because I'm getting calls and I gotta call my son anyways. So thank y'all for rocking with me. Faith, stop flirting with guys in the chat. They don't love you, but you over there flirting all in the chat. Oh baby, you so I love you so much. I see that. But catch y'all the next one. Peace.